The diary entries continue. Let's take a look at the Habs and the Tampa Bay Lightning game from Tuesday night. Picking this one up here, Tampa Bay on the power play. Montreal, some issues on the blue line, obviously with injuries and everything like that, and just issues on the blue line in general. Matheson ends up having a decent game here. They called up Jakub, not exactly in the circle of trust yet, as he basically didn't get a regular shift for the last part of this game. That the Habs were playing with 5D for a lot of this matchup, and that they handled things, I think, pretty well. On this penalty kill, did a good job cutting off the entry here for Tampa Bay, forcing them to come back, but then Nikita Kucherov. And look, I am guilty of it too. It's wild that a guy can be this good, and there are still parts of his game that I underrate, but his playmaking and his hands are just incredible. And you see it on the zone entry here. Makes a really nice move on the rush. He ends up getting the chance that stop, and then Point races in. Good puck retrieval. He stopped as well. Montreal is able to clear. Kucherov, another really good entry, getting the opportunity. And it's just time after time, you see how incredible this guy is. And talked about this last week. This Tampa Bay team is ready for the playoffs. This result didn't go their way, but this is a great hockey team. When you see the effort and the commitment to winning that their top players have, and you saw it in this one with Kucherov, Point, Hagel as well, all the guys were really there. Also, I was unaware of the blood rivalry that Montreal and Tampa Bay had, because this game got nasty at some points. But back to the game. Point, really good chance on a one-timer. That was stopped. Kucherov had an open net, missed it, just kind of fanned on it, but stayed scoreless. Lane Hudson, they made a big deal on the broadcast that he was getting a penalty kill shift, made a good play to break up a chance, and then immediately rushed it up ice, looking for a chance. Passed to Deneau, didn't quite hit his stick, but you like to see Hudson getting that opportunity, breaks up a chance for Hagel in front. A little bit more growth from the young defenseman who's going to be put in some bigger roles now. Ottawa's defense didn't handle the bigger roles tonight as they got thumped by the Florida Panthers. But so you like to see him kind of adjusting to that bigger role and really starting to thrive, and it's some good work there. Later on, Dobes, really good save on Yanni Gourde. And this was probably the end of the regular night for Arber Xhekaj, as he didn't handle that rush well at all. Ended up getting a little bit too wide, and all of a sudden there's a great chance right in front. Dobes makes the save. He was fantastic in this game, and I think that's the biggest takeaway. We're going to break down more of it. The biggest takeaway for me in this game is if they get goaltending like that, this team can win the Stanley Cup. Like, that's the rest of the team is good. I love the blue line. Talked for 2 years about how much I like this forward group. The goaltending has been a bit of a problem for this team this season. And I'm not saying Dobes is going to be that locked in for 2 months, but if he is, this team's getting their name engraved on a trophy at the end of it. And I'm throwing pen everywhere. I'm so excited. But it really was that good of a performance for Montreal in goal in this one. And they would end up giving him a bit of support. Game tied at 1. Cole Caulfield gets his first career goal against Andrei Vasilevsky. Slavkovsky, though, sets it all up. Really strong rush. And again, like, you see this dude, sizable kid, and he's out there racing up the ice. A perfect pass to Caulfield, puts it into the wide open net. Tampa Bay, a rare miscue for them. 3 guys all focused on Slavkovsky, and then a 4th being the goalie. And they just left Cole Caulfield in his 7 goals, sitting at the side of the net, wide open for the tap in. But Slavkovsky, that fantastic Olympics that he had, carrying over into this one, some great skating and a really good pass sets up a nice tap-in goal there for this team. Nikita Kucherov with a really good feed to Point behind the defense. Again, Dobes on fire, makes a great save. And then after that, everyone just punched each other for the rest of the game. It was just scrum after scrum. And then there would be scrums within the scrums, and they would turn into bigger scrums. This was like playoff intensity. This game had it. And I try to not say that about hockey in the regular season because it's a different sport. This one was different. This one felt like that playoff type intensity, and it got ugly. And then a really big one breaks out because Evans nails Kucherov from behind. it looked a bit nasty in real time, and it sucks because it is Kucherov going headlong into the boards. I believe he was all right. I haven't checked anything since, but there isn't like that big like from Evans, and Kucherov absolutely turns into it. Like when you watch it in slow motion, yeah, but sorry, when you watch it in real time, but you watch it in slow motion, you can really see like Kucherov. It's almost like he was like setting it up for it. Like it was a video game animation for a hit from behind. Like he just turned into it perfectly and got drilled. And when I say perfectly, I mean the opposite of that because that fucking sucks. But they called it a major initially so they could go over it, review it. I think the right call was made. If you would have given him 5, you wouldn't have got a ton of argument from me. Habs fans would have been pissed. But I think 2 was probably the right call on this one. They're able to kill it off, and Matheson gets the empty netter for a 2-point game. And then Suzuki, Tampa Bay kept the net empty. Suzuki on a 3-on-1 just shoots and scores himself. Mike Johnston, who's on the color commentary, did the color for the Olympics for the Canadian broadcast. Not livid in like a real way, but he's like, pass it to Slavkovsky, to Caulfield, like just yelling, like, pass it. What are you doing? This guy's going for 50. Let's give him a gimme here. But Suzuki scores and then basically apologizes to Caulfield after for just like, yeah, sorry, man, we're just trying to win the game here. But no issue from Caulfield. Very impressive win for Montreal. They lock it down 4-1, ends up being the final. And just a nice reminder, again, when this team gets the goaltending, they can compete for a Stanley Cup. That's how good I think this team is. And you saw it in this one. The top players being the top players. Young defensemen stepping into roles they're not comfortable with and thriving in those spots. And then Dobes was everything that this team needs between the pipes. And that is one of the best teams in the NHL that not only did they hang with, but that they beat 4-1, 2 empty netters. But it was a playoff type of a game against a Stanley Cup contender, and Montreal comes out on top. That this is a huge, huge night for them. Given what happened with Buffalo, as of right now, this is a playoff preview. Give me 7 of these. Absolutely.